Here's a picture of the playoff picture. We're number 1. We're 11-2. So, what? You have an issue with that? I'm just reading the graphic.
No, I jumped your question. So go ahead.
Are we number 1?
No, that's not the question.
Or are we the team to beat in the AFC?
Not to me. Even though I have said throughout the year that I think you guys are the second best team in the conference to a team that I had best that right now is in the 10th spot. You know what I mean? So and I'm not going to say I have the Chiefs ahead of you because the Chiefs haven't played like it. Team to beat is different for me than the team that either has the best record or, to me, the team to beat right now in the AFC and the team that has far and away the most pressure to actually break through and should do it is Buffalo. And I have been from preseason to right now very complimentary of New England, and I believe in them because I believe in Vrabel and believe in the quarterback, and that to me is 80% of it. But I just, as a rule of thumb, aside from the year I picked Caleb to go to the Super Bowl as a rookie, typically I'm going to say, yeah, I'm not going to trust the team that's never been in the playoffs, the quarterback that's never been in the playoffs, to make it all the way to the Super Bowl their first year. And Buffalo, I think Buffalo and New England are closer than you think. And so here's their resumes, not their statistical resumes side by side. We'll do offense and then defense. And what you'll see is Buffalo has I think it's fair to say, slightly better offense. Not by a lot, but I mean more yards, more points. And doesn't have any weakness on offense, while the Patriots, oddly, have not been very good running the ball. And then, and this is, I think, works against the Pats a bit. Then defensively, the Patriots have the better defense, with the Bills having one glaring weakness, but it also happens to be the one thing the Patriots offense isn't great at. And so, like, I know it's weird with a Mike Vrabel coached Patriot team from what we've seen, but if I have the opportunity, can I have the best pass defense and the worst run defense or vice versa? If I'm trying to beat the Patriots, I'd rather have a good pass defense. And because that's where their strength has been, you think they have the MVP at quarterback. So just like if the Broncos win this week when the Patriots are off and they are the 1 seed, I won't, because they would be, I won't call them the team to beat, so no. I don't think they
I get what you're saying. If the Chiefs are out and, you know, Buffalo, because of Josh Allen, because they've been knocking on the door all these years, people would feel that way. And if the Ravens got it going and, like, they ended the season on a nice run, I think they would be similar because of Lamar and their history as well. But here's where I think it shifts, Nick. If the Patriots beat the Bills again, they played this week, right?
After the bye.
After the bye. If the Patriots beat the Bills again, sweep them this regular season, I kind of think that changes. If the Chiefs are out and the Patriots will have swept the Bills and get the number 1 seed, and maybe they're 14-3, 15-2, I think they would be viewed as the team to beat. Now, if Buffalo beats them, then I think it kind of goes back to
if Buffalo beats them, even if New England still wins the division.
I think people will fit just because of Allen's pedigree.
The Patriots are the team to beat in the AFC.
Bragging on
It's really simple. Like, you put those numbers up, and I look at it from a player's perspective of there is no sense of fear of the big brother anymore. There's no, we can't beat that team in Buffalo because we've done that. And so Buffalo has the most pressure because we have expectation if the team in red, and if the Chiefs don't make it, then it's like Buffalo. If you're not going to do it this year, then you're never going to get it done. However, when you look at those numbers that you put up, they are just such a well-balanced diet. I'm talking about across the offensively, defensively, offensive pass game, run game. Like when you look at how he disperses the ball.
Yeah.
Like Josh McDaniels has done a terrific job of just saying, look, we may not have a number 1. We have a guy that everybody knows in Stephon Diggs, but Hunter Henry, obviously Kayshon Boutte, all these guys, Ramondre Stevenson, Austin Hooper, everybody is a part of what we're doing and why we're successful. So you can't lock in on us. We're going to run the ball. We may not run the ball as good as the Buffalo Bills, but we're going to still stick to our game plan, and we're going to play solid defense. And that means situational football. Third down, they're great. Red zone, they're great. Like, they don't give up touchdowns. Like, this is a well-rounded, nutritious meal.
Indeed, they are exceptionally efficient on first down as well. Historically so, with Drake May at the helm. Before I delve deeper into this analysis and unpack the broader implications, I must address the New England Patriots fan base directly. I've posed this question before, but the engagement metrics for content focused on the Patriots remain in a precarious state. When you watch a video in its entirety, when you subscribe while actively viewing, the resulting impact on the channel is transformative. The visual I intended to display wasn't one of stagnation, but of growth. Subscriber counts and viewership figures skyrocket. I cannot stress this enough. My objective transcends a simplistic desire for high view counts, though as a creator, that is undoubtedly a factor. The core mission is to produce material that an audience actively seeks out, content they are eager to watch, engage with, and debate. I aspire to continue crafting New England Patriots-focused videos that people genuinely want to consume, interact with, and discuss, thereby fostering substantive, meaningful football dialogue. Your active support, through subscriptions and full video engagement, directly empowers that endeavor, positioning me to reliably produce more of that Patriot-centric content. So please consider subscribing to help sustain this ongoing discussion. The question posed is profoundly intriguing. I've spoken frequently lately about the analytical constraints inherent in sports discourse, where one sometimes must voluntarily accept a degree of intellectual confinement for the sake of a productive conversation. To persistently defer a definitive judgment, to always kick the can down the road, ultimately drains a dialogue of its vitality and immediacy. Therefore, there are moments where you must commit to a position, even if it feels prematurely definitive, to facilitate a meaningful exchange. I consciously adopted this approach throughout this season, regarding a team like the Patriots and their rookie quarterback, Drake May. I resisted the temptation to perpetually defer evaluation with questions like, yes, but can they beat the Chiefs in the playoffs? A refrain another analyst seemed locked into week after week. I find that line of questioning exhausting and fundamentally uninteresting. It represents a mode of analysis I have consciously moved beyond. This is not to suggest we ignore playoff viability entirely, but to obsess over it weekly, especially for a developing team, stifles the appreciation of their current growth. When they secured a significant victory earlier in the season, the immediate pivot shouldn't be to an abstract January scenario in Arrowhead. We should be able to discuss the tangible quality of play from May, the schematic prowess of the coaching staff, and the team's evident development in that moment. Now, as we approach the postseason threshold, that broader question naturally gains relevance. Consequently, I have been contemplating it more frequently, and I now welcome the direct inquiry. Are the Patriots the team to beat? This has been a recurring theme in my recent commentary. My reasoning stems from a clear contrast with the previous season. Last year, the NFL landscape felt distinctly mapped. The identity of the Bills, Ravens, Eagles, Rams, and Chiefs was clearly defined and largely consistent. If we were witnessing these same known entities from last year, the powerhouse Bills, the dynastic Chiefs, the dominant Eagles, yet saw the Patriots atop the standings due to a confluence of injuries, suspensions, or other anomalies, I would fully comprehend the skepticism. Questioning whether this new Patriots squad could truly surpass those established juggernauts would be perfectly logical. However, the present reality is starkly different. The Buffalo Bills are not the formidable, consistent force we have known. The Baltimore Ravens are not the explosive, reliable contender of recent years. The Kansas City Chiefs are clearly not the invincible machine that dominated the past half-decade. This isn't a matter of early season struggles. There is no compelling narrative that these teams are now getting healthy at the right time or peaking for a postseason run. That tangible sense of inevitable resurgence is absent. The benefit of the doubt afforded to them seems rooted more in reputation and historical precedent than in current, observable performance. This is not to dismiss their potential outright. It is entirely sensible to acknowledge that in a playoff setting, with Josh Allen under center, the Bills transform into a uniquely dangerous opponent. His career playoff statistics, leading in total yards per game and boasting the best touchdown-to-interception ratio in postseason history, are monstrous and indisputable. We are entering a new era of Patriots-Bills rivalry, and as I've advocated for other divisional foes like the Eagles and Commanders, I encourage a measure of mutual respect. Fans shouldn't instinctively diminish the rivals' assets. Bills supporters shouldn't casually downplay Drake May, and Patriots fans shouldn't dismiss Josh Allen. Ideally, you root for both entities to reach their pinnacle, creating epic clashes where a victory carries the weight of defeating a truly great opponent. It frustrates me when analysts relentlessly bash other quarterbacks, branding them as inherently not good. By that flawed logic, Patrick Mahomes' legacy would be severely diminished, as he would have spent years defeating quarterbacks deemed unworthy. Beating a Jimmy Garoppolo or a Brock Purdy in a Super Bowl, if they are considered non-elite, wouldn't be that impressive. This cynical framework ultimately devalues the entire competitive landscape. I do understand the inclination to await further evidence from Buffalo. If they demonstrate sustained high-level play, if they convincingly iron out their inconsistencies, then even if the Patriots hold the top seed, one could rationally argue the Bills are peaking at the right time. Even in a scenario where the Patriots swept them in the regular season, if Josh Allen enters the playoffs on a historic tear, a wild-card matchup where he dismantles a Jacksonville or Denver would signal the return of the Bills we know. In a subsequent hypothetical divisional round game, Drake May's playoff debut after a bye versus a battle-tested Josh Allen, I would completely understand why a majority would still favor Allen and the experienced Bills. That rationale, based on postseason pedigree, is perfectly sound. But if we are addressing the question in its immediate context, right now, as things stand, and I believe that is the spirit of the inquiry, then we cannot perpetually defer to future hypotheticals. We must engage with the present evidence. To constantly say, let's wait for the rematch, is to nullify current analysis. New information will inevitably emerge in the coming weeks, and we will analyze it then. But we must have the courage to make assessments based on the available data. So, addressing the question head-on, in this immediate moment, yes. Right now, the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos are the two teams to beat in the American Football Conference. Whether one finds this palatable or not, they are the franchises consistently finding ways to secure victories. Their defenses execute when necessary. Their quarterbacks and offensive units deliver in crucial moments. They are, week in and week out, getting it done. The arguments against them are familiar. The Patriots have faced a softer schedule. The Broncos are perpetually playing from behind and relying on comebacks. These critiques carry weight, and I empathize with the intuitive feeling that something seems off about their dominance. I have similar intuitive reservations about other teams. However, the incontrovertible fact is their consistent success. This brings to mind my preseason assessment of the Dallas Cowboys, where I predicted they would remain precisely who they have been for years, a team capable of beating inferior opponents, competing with good teams, and ultimately losing to the truly great ones. That analysis has largely held. The critical distinction this season is the ambiguous location of those truly great teams. In prior years, one could confidently say the Cowboys would fall to the Lions or the Chiefs. But presently, the Chiefs are not great. The Lions are not great. The Eagles are not great. There is a conspicuous absence of a terrifying top-tier juggernaut. Even the Patriots, for whom I have immense admiration, do not instill that primordial fear. As a potential lower-seeded playoff team, you aren't desperately hoping to avoid a first-round matchup with New England. There isn't a prevailing sentiment of, oh no, we have to go into Foxborough. That pervasive sense of dread is missing across the entire NFL landscape. Not for the Eagles, the Rams, the Broncos, or anyone else. In previous seasons, you felt it regarding the Ravens, even with Lamar Jackson's playoff questions, the Bills, the Chiefs, the 49ers. You hope to delay facing them. Now, who genuinely fears the Jacksonville Jaguars? The current fourth-seeded Baltimore Ravens? Every playoff contender should be relatively comfortable with that draw. If the Indianapolis Colts win their division, is anyone terrified of facing them? The league is devoid of these intimidators. I assure you, the Bills do not fear the Patriots. The Broncos do not fear the Patriots. The Chargers do not fear the Patriots. No one is operating from a position of fear. If that is the competitive reality of this particular season, a landscape without a clear, overwhelming favorite, then the team playing the best, most complete football on both sides of the ball and demonstrating superior coaching deserves recognition as the current team to beat. Are the Patriots flawless? Absolutely not. No team is. We can dissect their weaknesses. But they are 11-2. The Jaguars are, yeah, but they're 8-4. The Ravens are, yeah, but they're 6-6. The Bills are, yeah, but they're 8-4. While I don't obsess over records, the yeah but qualifiers apply to everyone. The Patriots have simply navigated those challenges most effectively. The counter-argument of an easy schedule loses potency when you ask, well, then who are the hard teams? Look at the other top contenders: the Broncos, Jaguars, Ravens. The Patriots already defeated the Bills. Are we supposed to be intimidated by the Colts, Chargers, Steelers, or the struggling Chiefs? The Rams were considered elite, but lost to the Eagles, who have been inconsistent. The Eagles beat the Cowboys, who beat the Packers, who beat the Lions. The league is in a state of beautiful competitive chaos. Dismissing a team's accomplishments as fool's gold due to schedule strength becomes a hollow exercise when no team has proven themselves invulnerable. I recently encountered a comment stating, "We'll see what they look like in January," a sentiment that always mildly irritates me. Only one team wins the Super Bowl each year. If the Patriots fall short, the easy refrain will be, "See, I told you they weren't that good." By that standard, every team except the champion is overrated. That is a nonsensical framework for evaluation. I've jested that if someone had repeatedly claimed, "Tom Brady and the Patriots won't win the Super Bowl this year," they would have been correct most seasons, as Brady did not win the majority of his championships in New England. Does that make those pessimistic predictions right? Obviously not. No rational person would think so. Therefore, if we are to have these seasonal conversations, I refuse to constantly defer judgment to some abstract playoff future. We can acknowledge that the Colts are currently stumbling, dealing with significant injuries to a key player like Daniel Jones. This doesn't invalidate their earlier season excellence or the confidence they inspired. It merely illustrates the marathon nature of an NFL season. It is permissible to avoid concrete, unshakable conclusions. This principle applies conversely as well. An analyst who was supremely confident the Chiefs would remain atop the AFC must now confront their genuine struggles to even secure a playoff berth. We must be measured and cautious with our pronouncements. Ultimately, filtering every discussion through the narrow lens of, "But what about in the playoffs?" is, in my view, an impoverished approach to analysis. It causes us to miss the present tense greatness on display, the remarkable development of Drake May, and the cohesive performance of this Patriots team. Even if they ultimately falter, that potential outcome shouldn't rob us of the ability to appreciate what they are accomplishing right now. The journey and the current level of play possess intrinsic value worthy of discussion, without always demanding a final, definitive verdict on a championship destination that remains months away. But these are simply my personal reflections and analytical conclusions. I would be absolutely delighted to hear your own. What are your thoughts on the New England Patriots? Do you believe they currently represent the team to beat in the AFC? Please share your perspectives in the comment section below. I read every single comment posted, whether you agree with me or stand in firm opposition. Let's engage in detailed discussions and spirited debates. Ultimately, let's ensure we derive enjoyment from the shared experience of analyzing this compelling sport. Please do consider subscribing. As stated, we are building an incredible community here, and I would love to have you as a part of it. My goal is to create a space where we feel a genuine collective connection, something we are all truly excited and proud to be involved with, and I believe we are making significant progress toward that objective. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it genuinely assists with the visibility and reach of our content within the platform's algorithm. Thank you so much for your time and engagement.